So our job actually required 2 months of training, and during those 2 months we learned a majority about emergency situations, how to keep passengers safe, the aircraft types and the different emergency exits and procedures to go through. Of course, we learned about how to deliver the best hospitality out there to make all passengers feel comfortable. And prior to this job, I thought this was just like a summer gig, nothing that you would do long term. Being a flight attendant, depending on the company you are with, it actually gives you decent to a very good income. As the longer you've been with a company, the more you actually get paid. I'm so thankful for all the benefits that our company actually gives us, and I'm able to see the world, and not everyone's able to just go somewhere and at a whim. So I'm very thankful every day for this job, and it is a blessing. Greetings, my name is Nicholas. I'm 26 years old. I live in the Detroit metro area, and I'm a flight attendant making $50,000 a year. So the 50K just comes from being a flight attendant. That is a little bit down because of the pandemic, and my hours have been a little bit reduced, and also the money, the month of November I'm actually taking off, so that kind of mitigates some of the money I would have made. Also, I have this YouTube channel, so I make a little bit from there. I'm pretty keen on doing receipt scanning apps and sign-on bonuses through credit cards and bank accounts, so I make some money that way. And also, I sell on eBay. I've been selling on eBay for years, and it used to be my main source of income, but now I don't do it as much because I don't have that much time. So here is my budget for the whole year up until November 2020. These are the numbers of where the monies went in the categories. As you can see, I'm very happy to say that saving and investing is my highest category, and that is what I want it to be, and I'm very thankful I'm able to do that. It is my priority, so I make sure every month that I'm saving the majority of my take-home pay. I am able to do that because a year and 3 months ago, I actually paid off my student loans in full. I had about $27,000 of student loans that I acquired from attending the University of Missouri, where I studied hospitality management. I graduated there in 2016. But after getting out of school, I decided to move home and to just take care of that debt and to mitigate my spendings. I made a lot of sacrifices and whatnot to be able to prioritize being debt free, and after a year I was able to pay off that $27,000. I went into more detail in one of my YouTube videos. I'll link it up here, but that is the #1 reason why my savings and investing rate is so high, is because I don't have any debt. And like I mentioned, it's been 2 years and 3 months since I became debt free, and during that period I was able to amass a net worth of $49,500, so 49.5K. And since I didn't have any debt and my bills are mitigated, I was able to focus on saving and investing. I do have an emergency fund as well. So I'm so thankful and blessed that I was able to accelerate me gaining a little bit of wealth. It's not the biggest amount of money, but I'm very thankful that in a small period of time I was able to save and invest that much. Into the budget a little bit more. Saving is the highest portion, and then we have investing. The most of the investments are come from automatic deductions from my 401k. It's been as high as 15% and as low as 10%. That is a big boost in my savings rate. It's out of sight, out of mind. I get my take-home pay and it's already deducted some investing, so that gives me a head start in saving and investing. And then from there, I always try to make my budget at least 50% savings. Sometimes it's different each month depending on what happens, but I'm thankful that it averaged out to be pretty high amount. And then as far as lifestyle, that's everything else that I spend my money on besides transportation and housing. So food, anything I pick up like shampoo, or whatnot, and just a miscellaneous expenses that come up, even like checking my eyes. My travel money is there as well. And then the food portion is probably a decent amount. It might be more than Graham Stephan would think it should be, but since I'm saving so much first, I feel a little bit more comfortable eating out and spending more on food. That goes for eating out with me and my girlfriend, whether it's be at home or whether I'm traveling on my layovers for work. So I eat a decent amount. I studied food in school, so food is very important to me, so I don't mind spending a little bit more on there as long as I'm able to save first. And then going down, my transportation cost is super killer low, and my housing price is pretty decent. It's not very high since I live here in the Midwest and it's not like the coast or whatnot. So my money philosophy is always to save first, and after I save first, I have some free range to spend, and I try to be a little bit frugal and to make do with whatever I have. Like you see, I don't have a very fancy car. I bought this car in cash, and it's a 10-year-old car because it doesn't really matter to me. I care about putting my money where it matters, and that is saving for the future, investing for a future, eating good food, and of course traveling. So I'm okay with buying my clothes from the thrift store, wearing clothes for years and years, even wearing shoes that have pretty big holes in it because I actually think they look pretty good and I can stay pretty stylish with them, and I'm okay wearing them when it's not wet outside. Here I have two roommates here in the suburbs of Detroit. I picked the smallest room because it was cheaper and I'm not home too often, so I didn't want to spend my money going there to a bigger room. And also, as far as keeping my pantry and refrigerator relatively empty, I always try to keep enough food in there to last me until my next round. So I eat all the food, then I go shopping, and I actually buy some food at Dollar Tree. I look at the deals, see what's the most economical, whether it be some canned goods or soup or frozen vegetable, and I'm okay with getting that from Dollar Tree because I can make some pretty good food from there. I do have the American Express Platinum card that is $550 a month, but all the statement credits and the benefit outweigh that, and since I'm in the airport a lot, I'm able to go to the Sky Club while I'm traveling, and they have food there, so that also helps my food pricing goes down. But I don't really drink anymore. I don't really spend my money on frivolous things, try to keep up with the Joneses. It's all about being focused on saving for the future, traveling and eating and everything else. I don't have to spend that much money on. I try to pinch my pennies as much as I can, but I have gotten a little bit more relaxed. But ultimately, save first and everything else is it's whatever. It's whatever. I don't mind having the low grade stuff. So when I do spend money, my philosophy is to put everything on a credit card so I can accumulate credit card points because those points ultimately make everything I buy a little bit cheaper. I am still spending money, but if I can get 1.5% back, 3% back, that's 1.5% less money I spent, 3% less money I've spent. So I put all my things on a credit card and I pay it off at the end of the month. I always have an automatic payment to go through so I don't miss it. And also the money that I use for my credit card I keep in a high interest savings account, so whether it be for 28 days it's occurring a little bit of that interest rate, so I'm making a tiny bit of money off of there each month. And I use Yada Savings for my long-term savings because it has a pretty high averaging out interest rate. It's a new lottery style bank where you get tickets for the amount of money that you put in, and those tickets have numbers, and if you match the numbers you get money and this and that. So I keep a decent amount of money there. I just started, but also I have an Ally savings account where the rate is now 0.6%, which is higher than my other accounts, but it could be higher because it used to be higher. But I keep all the money that I pay off my credit cards with in these accounts, then I do an automatic payment from there. So that's a kind of a small trick that I do. Also, I use different receipt scanning apps to get some cents back per transaction, or if I find a receipt on the ground, I scan it and get a couple cents. So that's me pinching the pennies and getting as much money that I can, and also reducing how much things cost by getting more percentage back. So the pandemic has affected my flying hours just a little bit for a couple of months, but now ultimately I'm able to fly what I want to do. I wanted to make over $56,000 this year, but ultimately wasn't able to do that because of the pandemic, and I'm not flying all of November, but that is okay. And for the pandemic, it's basically made me more of a homebody. Usually on my days off, I would just fly somewhere and hang out either with my sister, my families, or with my girlfriend and just travel. And now I have to be a little bit safe and I can't travel. And I guess that saved me money on hotel stays. But October I went to Sedona and I had a great time there. And I want to go skiing this month or next month, so I'm still going to be traveling a bit. And I'm very thankful that I don't have to necessarily worry about some cost of traveling, and this job has been a really benefit. I try to get hotel credit cards to get those anniversary nights. So I'm working on the Hyatt card right now, and I'll get like a Marriott card later on. But the pandemic has made me travel less and made me make a little less money, but ultimately I'm just trying to be safe and to still enjoy life, basically. So I have this high savings amount, this high investing amount, because it's all for the future. I have grand plans for the future. I want to be a high net worth individual. I would like to be an entrepreneur. I'm in the process of starting a business right now. Within the next coming weeks, that should be open. I should be making announcements about that. I'm interested in the FIRE movement and getting into income properties, so I'm trying to amass as much money as I can now, so when I'm like 45 I can be financially independent and don't necessarily need to work. So that is why I want to save now, still have fun, still travel, but ultimately the small things, the Gucci I don't need, the Tesla I don't need right now, I'm fine with my holy shoes, I'm fine with shopping at Dollar Tree. I want my money to go into savings and investing, and that's ultimately what drives my budget and my lifestyle. This has been a video about me and how I spend my money, my millennial money. Hope you guys enjoyed and learned something. Comment below what you think about all of this. Hope you subscribe and see more videos that I have to come. Hope you guys have a great day, stay safe, and peace out, y'all.